think this is recording. So, hi, how you doing? This is going to be my video for the strip down challenge, supposedly. And like the origins of this challenge are a little bit hazy to me. I know that Shady Pink was one of the ones that either started it or was one of the ones that like most openly like promoted it, I guess. But I couldn't find any original videos by Shady. I couldn't find any tweets about it or anything. So I'm just going off what I've heard from other videos from this. And all I've heard is that it's been sparked by, there was, I believe, a modder who just quit, like, social media. So this has come about just being, like, people just talking about their problems or, like, what they want to achieve with the internet and all that stuff. And just, like, life, basically. I'm just having a bit of a rant. Because it's good to do that. Yeah, it's bad to bottle up emotions and stuff. So it's a good thing to release that once in a while. So yeah, first things first, before I properly get into it, there's probably going to be some swearing in this, because the whole point of this thing, that you're not allowed to edit anything on the video. You have to talk for at least 10 minutes about it, and you can't edit anything. And the point of it, you're supposed to be stripped down, you're supposed to just let loose with everything. And the point of this, I'm not RhyQuinn at this point. I'm Pete. I am me, and me as a person, I swear a lot. I don't in videos or when I'm streaming. When I'm RhyQuinn, I don't, because I like to appeal to, you know, the most amount of people, and I like to appeal to children and things like that. But right now, I'm not RhyQuinn. I'm Pete. I'm just here. I'm just gonna talk about things and stuff, basically. So apologies if that, you know, offends you or whatever, but you'll deal with it, I'm sure. So the main thing that people wanted to like talk about is like why did you start YouTube and what do you want to achieve with it and all that stuff. But I've seen 3 of these strip down challenges now. I've seen Steve Magnitude's, I've seen Under the Radars, Kelly's, and I've seen Ellie's, 8-Bit Insomniac. I've seen hers as well. So I've seen those 3, and all 3 of them resonated with me in different ways. Then hopefully I'll explain that in a little bit. But I've been hearing a lot about, and just in general, just from meeting people in the Pokemon community and stuff, how a lot of people, or the reason a lot of people started YouTube was because of like, because it was like a release from their life, or it was an escape from things that were happening in their life and all that stuff. And my story is very much boring. I don't have that kind of motivation, that kind of spark to make me start this. And the reason I started it, I just want to preface this by saying that I'm probably going to ramble quite a bit about this, about like my childhood and my family and stuff. And I promise it does lead into the YouTube stuff. I'm not just rambling about life and all that. It does actually lead into the YouTube stuff. I promise. I'll get there eventually. But like, I want to preface by saying that I am so incredibly lucky and blessed to have the life that I have and to have the family I have, basically. My parents are saints. It's basically it. I couldn't have asked for anything better with my parents. If someone gave me an option to get rid of my parents and choose any other 2 people to be my parents in the world, I would get rid of my parents and then choose my parents. If I could pick anyone in the world to be my parents, I'd pick my parents. Because there's not many better people in the world, in my opinion, than my parents. And I have 2 brothers, 2 older brothers, and they are, they've always been there, whenever I needed them. Obviously, they're being older brotherly, they're always there to pick on me as well, but I just have the best family ever, basically. And there's no way to kind of sugarcoat it or anything. I'm just incredibly lucky, incredibly blessed to have the family I have. So you might be wondering, like, what do you have to vent about? Like, why are you even doing this video? If your life is so great, why are you even doing this video? I wanted to lead it into the YouTube stuff, because the reason I started YouTube was because it was fun, basically. Because I knew I liked making videos. I was doing parkour before I started doing Pokemon stuff, and I'd made a few parkour videos, a few like showreels and stuff of me doing parkour. So I knew I liked making videos, and obviously I've been playing Pokemon since as long as I can remember. So I was like, why don't I just combine the two things and make videos about Pokemon? And I'd recently discovered the whole Pokemon YouTube scene. I was watching a lot of Jaywitz and a lot of Hayden. Hayden was the biggest influence as to why I started YouTube in the first place. He's basically the reason I did it. And if you guys have ever seen the first videos ever put on the channel, don't go do that because they're terrible. But if you have seen them, that they're basically me trying to mimic Hayden. It was me trying to be him because I thought he was hilarious and I wanted to be just like him, which was dumb. It's a dumb thing to do, is to try and just copy someone. But that was my influence. That was who I wanted to be like originally when I first started, and eventually I evolved and I changed and I became my own personality. But like the start of it, the reason I started was just because it was fun. I just didn't want to be famous or get rich off it or anything. I didn't want to make any money off it. I just wanted to do it because it looked like fun. Like I said, I knew I liked making videos and I love Pokemon, so why not, right? But the entire premise behind it was the entire thing, like, driving me and making me want to make videos and do all that stuff. Again, it links back to my family because someone I especially look up to is my dad. My dad is really, really someone I look up to because basically his parents essentially lived in poverty when they were kids. My grandparents, they basically lived in poverty. And they came from basically nothing, essentially. And my dad, like, he left school when he was 16. Everyone told him not to. He left school when he was 16. And he started working in like a corner shop that he owned with his dad. And worked there for a long time until he met my mum, who would obviously turn out to be his wife and all that stuff. And then eventually he just worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and absolutely worked his ass off. And now he's got to the point where he has a loving wife, 3 kids, a grandchild, 3 kids that have all gone to university, all gone to a top school in the country. I don't mean to brag here. I went to a school that's in, I believe it's in the top 10 in England or in the UK or whatever. And it's a very, very good school. And we all went to university. We all have degrees in whatever, in our own respective fields. We all are just doing okay. Like, we're all healthy. We're all intelligent people. We're all good looking. Kidding. But it was, like, it's just it's so nice to see that my dad has come from nothing, basically, and just through determination and willpower and just working, he's managed to get this. My mum's retired, and she's 50, by the way. She's 50. Well, she was 50 when she retired. Alright? She retired when she was 50. Which is ridiculous. And the reason I've done that is because both my parents just absolutely busted their asses. All the time. And that kind of motivation, that willpower, that drive, is something that I take to heart a lot. And I know a lot of my friends, when I've been doing my grind and making videos and doing daily streams and all that stuff, back when I used to do daily streams, when I actually had the time for it, when I was doing daily streams and daily uploads and all that stuff, and people were just like, how are you doing this? You're a machine, how are you making all this? I'm like, because I love it. Because I love it. I have that drive and that motivation because I've seen what happens when you bust your ass. When you work hard at something, you get paid for it. Not paid as in money, you get rewarded for it. It pays off. It's in your interest to bust your ass, give 110% to everything. Because it helps you. Like, and I'm not just talking, you know, financially here or anything. It's just... I don't know. My phone needs to shut up because it's distracting me with notifications. But that drive, that motivation is something I really, really take to heart. Like, I don't know if my parents will hate me for making this video because I feel like I'm talking a lot about their personal life, and I don't know if they're okay with that because I haven't asked them about this. But I mean, none of you guys know who they are, so I don't think it matters too much. You don't know their names. You've never seen them. Well, you've kind of sort of maybe seen my mum in a vlog, but whatever. But I am going to talk about something that's quite personal right now. I'm probably going to regret this. I may end up taking this video down if my parents aren't okay with it, but hey-ho. But when I was 10, I think, when I was 10, my mum actually got breast cancer. Which was hard for a 10-year-old to kind of comprehend what was going on. I didn't fully understand the scope of it. I didn't really fully register the fact that my mum's life was hanging in the balance. Didn't really get that. I kind of did, in a way, because I'd heard the term, you know, just cancer thrown around a lot. I knew it was bad, but I never really thought that she would go. I never really thought she'd leave. And the main reason for that is because my mum didn't either. She didn't believe she was going to go. There's one thing that she told me. This was a long time after. Obviously, you know, she survived. She's got her all clear and all that stuff. It's all gone now, which is spectacular. She's one of the lucky ones. But I can remember this was a few years after something that she told me that I have really, really, really taken to heart, and something that I kind of live by right now, is that when she first got diagnosed, when she first found out she had breast cancer, she came home, she obviously told my dad, and she said, I'm going to have one night where I'm just going to let out all my emotions. I'm going to cry, I'm going to eat ice cream, I'm going to do all that stuff, all the emotional stuff that you do when you're very upset. Everything you need. She's going to cuddle up in a blanket and cry and watch TV and eat ice cream and all that stuff. So I'm going to have one night where I'm going to do all of that, and then tomorrow I'm going to go out there and I'm going to kick this illness in its face. I'm just going to get rid of it. Just done. And it's just that motivation of taking something negative and saying, alright, I'll let you have your day, but tomorrow I'm coming for you. Like, to take that negative, turn it into positive, turn it into motivation, turn it into a drive, turn it into something not positive, but you know what I mean? Like, that drive to do something is something that I've just absolutely I live by it now. I live by it. Anything negative that comes up. My friends might hear me, the friends I speak to on Skype and all that stuff, you might hear me vent about things occasionally. You might hear me being very upset about things. But that's just letting it out so that I can move past it. I can get up and I can work on something. Because if there's something that I want, something I want to achieve, or something that's stopping me, I will overcome it. Like, just straight up. Like, I'm not... I'm always like that. I've taken that massively to heart. That attitude is something I don't know. And this is the reason I say that my parents are saints. That attitude, that perspective on life and how to deal with it is something that I cherish massively. And that motivation is something I use every single day. Every single day. That's the kind of motivation I use. The reason I get out of bed in the morning and go to work, and the reason I always have motivation to make videos and do streams and all that stuff is because if you want something, you go and fucking get it. Like, you just go get it. End of. Like, no excuses. I don't know. It's weird. But See, that's the thing as well, is that when I first started doing YouTube and I first made RhyQuinn a thing, like I said, I didn't want to be famous, I didn't want to be big, I didn't want to make money off it. I just wanted to do it because it was fun. And obviously I've been growing a bit. Obviously I'm not a big channel. I've got, I think as of today, 803 subscribers, which is a big number. When you stop and think about how many people 803 is, that's a lot of people. The goal I set on YouTube when I first started was 1,000 subscribers. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll consider myself success. Any more than that, I'm ecstatic, kind of thing. That was my goal, 1,000 subscribers. That's changed a bit now, simply because of my Twitch streaming. Now, Twitch streaming. Oh god, I could talk about this for hours. So 24th of August this year, 24th of August, was when I first started taking streaming seriously. When I tried to make it look professional. I tried to make it be serious. I took it seriously. And from the 24th of August to the... when was it? 23rd of September? I believe it was 31 days. Exactly 31 days. I did a stream every single day. Every day. I did a stream. And that was possibly one of the greatest things I've ever done. Because Twitch streaming is unbelievable. And in that month, I went up to over 1,000 followers. So obviously that put the YouTube 1,000 subscribers goal, it made it seem a bit less impactful now, because I'm now on 1,500 Twitch followers. Now obviously Twitch followers are easier to come by than YouTube subscribers, I get that. But it's just the number itself, it just kind of... it's not going to have as much impact. When I hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, if I hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I feel it's going to be a bit less impactful. Now that I've already hit that milestone on Twitch, and the fact that I've shifted my focus to Twitch, it's going to be less impactful, which is a shame. I don't want it to be less impactful. It's still going to be a big milestone for me, but I don't know. But the thing is with Twitch streaming, what I wanted to say about Twitch streaming was that I'm getting to the point now where I want to be able to make it my full-time job. Now, like I said, when I started doing YouTube and started being RhyQuinn, I didn't want to be big. I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want to make money off it. I'm really not allowed to edit that out? Seriously? Anywho, apologies if you all just died a little bit. Rip headphone users and all that. What I wanted to say about Twitch streaming was, like I said, I didn't want to make money off it. But the problem I always have, and always have had, with like life in general, is that whenever I was like a teenager or whatever, someone said, what do you want to do when you're an adult? What do you want to do as a job? I was like, I don't know. How the hell do I know? Like, what do I want to do? I don't know. And I never knew until... I actually never knew, ever, what I wanted to do. I always thought I knew what I wanted to do at some point. Various points I thought I knew what I wanted to do, but never really knew what I wanted to do. It always changed. I wanted to be a coach for a sports team. I wanted to be a gym instructor. I wanted to be a personal trainer, which I am. But it changes all the time. And I never knew what I wanted to do because I hate work. That's the thing. I hate work in general. Because I'm not motivated by money in the slightest. Like, whenever someone says, oh, you can do this job, it's not good, just think of the money. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm not motivated by money at all. I just don't care. Like, all I want is enough money to live, and I'm happy. Like, that's it. I don't need any more than that. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to have all this money. All I want is enough to live, because the world revolves around money, which is stupid, but it does. I can't live in the world I want it to be. I have to live in the world I'm in. And this world revolves around money, so I need some of it to be able to live and be able to, you know, actually survive. I need some money. But whenever someone says, "Oh, just think of the money. Just think of the money. Do this job, think of the money." Like, no, I can't do that. I can't think of the money. That's why I can't do something like, you know, like a 9-to-5 office job or whatever. Because it's just... No, I'd hate myself. I can't do something I hate because I'd get money for it. I just can't do it. It's just not the way my brain works. So in my life, what I want to do is I want to do something I love more so than earn a lot of money. That's all I want to do. I want to be happy, and that's it. And doing a job that I hate is not the way to be happy. Straight up. Like, a lot of people will work a job that they don't like, or it's okay at best, but they get a lot of money, so they're happy. Like, that's worth it to them. Having that job and working those hours and stuff, if it gets them a lot of money, they're happy because they have their money. That's not the way my brain works. My brain is just like, I don't give a shit. I don't care about money. I just don't care. All I want is enough to be able to somewhat live comfortably. So I don't have to worry about my next rent payment, or, you know, I can go out and buy some food. Once in a while, I can go out and have a nice meal. I could do things if I wanted to. I could afford, you know, a flight to America to go and visit my girlfriend, who, by the way, I met through the Pokemon community. Fucking amazing. Just saying. So it's... I keep losing my train of thought. My brain's all over the place right now, because I've literally just watched the three stripped down challenges back-to-back, and my head's all over the place thinking about so many things right now. But it's... What I want to do now is I have found what I want to do. Actually, this time. I always thought I knew what I wanted to do, but this time I believe I've actually found it, and that is to be a full-time Twitch streamer. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm doing Twitch for the money. Like I said, I'm not motivated by money at all. I'm doing Twitch because I love it. I absolutely adore Twitch streaming. There is nothing in my life I like more than doing streaming. Nothing in my life I like more than streaming. And that might seem a bit weird to people, but I have no words for it. I can't... See, the thing is, whenever I try and put in words what it means to me and how much it's affected me, I end up just welling up and not saying a word, because I physically can't explain. Shut up! Thank you. This friggin' alarm, I swear. Oh, would you shut up? It's going every day now. I don't know what they're doing to it, but... Ugh! Anywho, I can never put into words what being RhyQuinn means to me, because I always just well up, and I never say any words, and I just sit there, and I can't say anything. I just go, okay. I can't. And then I just don't have any words for it. Which is not something I want to do for this video, because I kind of have to talk. But it means so much to me. And I didn't set out on Twitch streaming with the goal of making money off it. But now that the opportunity has arisen, because I did that month where I did daily streams, I saw I can do this. I can do this. Like I said, in a month, I went from, well, wasn't nothing, because I'd done a bit of Twitch streaming in the past. I think I was on like 250 followers or something. I went up to over 1,000 in a month. Like, to me, that was just insane. I made more money off my Twitch streaming in that month than I did off my personal training, which was my job. I made more money off Twitch streaming. And that to me just blew me away. I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, that is ridiculous. And to me, for me to have that and to say, you could make a living off doing something you love. That's perfect. That is exactly what I want to do. That's what I want to achieve in life. I love streaming. I love being RhyQuinn. So if I can make Twitch streaming my full-time job, I'm going to. And believe me, when I say I have that motivation, that drive, when I want something, I am going to fucking get it. Alright? I'm going to fucking get it. Like, it's been tough as of late because I've got a job and I'm working quite a lot. I'm busting my ass at my new job because there's a chance of permanent work. It's a Christmas temporary job. But there's a chance of having permanent work after Christmas if they like you enough, basically. So I am busting my ass at this new job to try and make sure that I can get the possible permanent position after Christmas. Because if I can get a full-time job, or a permanent job at least, I don't know if it's full-time per se, but if I can get a permanent job after Christmas, I'll have that money to come in. I have a regular schedule, and I can work my Twitch streaming around it. It's because right now my hours are shifting all over the place. I'm working midnight launches because there's a shit ton of games that are coming out because it's Christmas season, as well as I work at a game store. I work in a gaming store, so like I said, there's midnight launches for new releases, and there's, hours change all the time, working different points in the day and all that stuff. But if I can get a regular schedule of when I'm working, I can work my Twitch streams around that, and my body will adapt to it. It's because right now my body can't adapt to the different hours in the day when I'm working and all that stuff. It just can't get round to it, so I never have the energy enough to stream, which is really, really annoying. But, yeah, if I can get that permanent position, I can get that money coming in enough so I can live. I can focus on what I love. And what I love is being RhyQuinn. Straight up. That's just what I love. And I feel like there was a lot of things that I wanted to say and I didn't. This video has been going for 27 minutes already. I ramble a lot and I apologize. There's a lot of things I wanted to say that I didn't. And I regret that. Oh well. I mean, it's what happens when your brain's all over the place, I guess. But, yeah, I don't really have people the few people I've seen always talked about, like, their problems. I don't really have problems like other people's. Like I said, I've been very, very lucky and blessed with the life I have. I mean, it's tough where I am right now. Barely making rent. When rent got taken out of my account, and the last time I paid rent at the end of October, rent got taken out of my account, and I had £2 left over, with no more savings, no overdraft, no nothing. I had £2 to my name, which was scary, to say the least. So like I said, I'm barely making enough money to live right now, but it's life, I guess. And that's what happens. But like I said, I'm busting my ass at this new job. If I can get that permanent job after Christmas, things will be looking up. And in terms of, like, childhood stuff, it's nothing in comparison to anyone else. I mean, sure, I got bullied in school. Who didn't? Sure, I got beaten up. I got rocks thrown at me. I got alienated. But it never really affected me that much, because I always had my family. And I never felt like I wasn't important, because my family made it a point to make me feel important. And like I said, I can't say it enough, I'm so lucky to have my family. I don't really know where I'm going with this, and I've been talking for over 30 minutes now. This is ridiculous. I really, really need to stop. But, I encourage you guys to make a strip down challenge if you haven't yet. It feels kind of nice just to let loose and just chat shit. Feels kind of nice. I don't know why you guys would watch this though, because I don't think it's interesting to anyone but me, because it's me, you know. Obviously I care about my own problems, they're my problems. But oh no, I'm gonna go so overboard on this video. But I wanted to say, okay, I'll try and make this quick then. I wanted to say, Steve, Magnitude, the reason I resonated with his one, about his talk of how he wants to elevate people, that is one of the main reasons I want to make it, quote unquote, make it in this community. I want to be a big name, not for myself. I want to be able to elevate other people. I resonated massively with that one, because that is something that I love doing. Even, you know, the small following that I have now, with the 1,500 Twitch followers and 800 YouTube subscribers, I love helping out other people. I love bringing exposure to people that deserve it. And I can tell who deserves it. There's one person in particular, and I think he knows who he is. At least I hope he knows who he is. And I've spoken to him a lot about us two being this is going to sound really bad, honestly, but we've spoken a lot about us two potentially being the next generation. We think we can be big names, and I don't mean that in terms of fame and relevancy. I mean that in terms of we want to be big so we can elevate other people. I want to be a quote-unquote big name because I want to help others. I want to give that exposure to other people. And sure, I'd love to earn enough money to live, and an extra I don't need. But we've spoken a lot about that. And you, my friend, you have something special. And you know who you are. Man, I ramble a lot. Kelly's one. Why do I resonate with Kelly's? Well, the feeling of acceptance. This video is going to be so ridiculously long, and I hate myself for it. I hate the fact I can't edit this. As much as I said my family is amazing, whenever you're a teenager, you're going to think your life sucks. You always do. Everyone takes everything for granted that they have. That's just the way the mind works. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just the way the mind works. So when I was a teenager, I got very complacent, and I didn't appreciate what I had. And the way I perceived it, it probably wasn't like this, but the way I perceived it when I was a teenager, because my older brothers are quite a bit older than me. One of them's 5 years older than me, and one of them's 7 years older than me. So those two are quite close in terms of age, and then there's me who's a bit off to the side. So when I got to the age where they were both 18 plus, and shut up! Seriously! When I got to the age where I was like, where they were both like 18 plus, and I wasn't, they would often go and like go to the pub and have a drink by themselves and all that stuff, and I'd be left at home doing nothing, basically. And I always kind of felt that way, that they were the older two, and there was me off to the side. They were always there to look down and point and laugh at the baby of the family. Like, it probably wasn't that way, but that's the way my teenage mind perceived it, because I was a angsty little shit, basically. So I didn't feel accepted as a whole. I didn't feel like I was integrated enough. I feel that now with my family. Absolutely 110% feel that now. But when I was back then, I didn't really feel that way. So when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't really... That feeling of acceptance in the community, and the feeling that I was important. It was amazing. A feeling accepted, feeling accepted. It was definitely something. So that's what kind of resonated with me off Kelly's one, and Ellie's one. Oh man, a lot of things resonate with me on that one. A lot of things. And I'll probably just be speaking to her about that. If you guys don't know, me and Ellie are really, really good friends. So I'll probably just be speaking to her about that. Because I feel like that stuff is more private, I think. I don't really want to breach that. There's a few things I definitely want to talk to her about after watching her video. So, anyway. I think that's probably going to be about it, because it's been 35 minutes. What the hell have I been talking about? Why do I talk so much? What is up with my hair? I'm getting a haircut today. I don't even care. I guess this is it then, guys. I don't really know why I talked about what I talked about, but hey-ho. I hope you guys know me a little bit better now. Why I'm here, what I want to achieve, and stuff. I hope you know Pete a little bit better. Not RhyQuinn. I hope you know Pete a little bit better. RhyQuinn's a personality. RhyQuinn's a character that I portray. But right now I'm Pete. Plain and simple. So, yeah. I don't know how to end this. But, thanks for watching, I guess, if you're still here after 37 fucking minutes. Anywho, I'll see you guys soon, I guess. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, I'd recommend making your own one of these, because it feels nice just to let loose and vent a little bit. Just do it. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.